What's up, guys? It's the Fantasy Brothers. Been waiting to post this podcast for a while now. I know we're a little behind, but a lot of football, a lot of basketball's commenced, and a lot of great stories, and hopefully everyone's still alive out there and with the fantasy teams. But we're gonna help you get you to the finish line because playoffs are about 4 weeks away. But I'm here with my co-host, Suspense.
What's up, guys? Doing, just thinking about our fantasy teams right now. I got a team that is 8-1. This is a joint league that Sterling's not a part of. Got a team that's 4-5, team that's 5-4. So I'm riding like the playoff kind of push. So wins are coming at a premium these upcoming weeks. I don't know about Sterling. He's doing pretty good in a couple of leagues, but it's always good to get the wins. But for myself in particular, these are must-win weeks. If you're sitting at like 4-4, 4-5, 5-4, even 6-3, you know how 1 week can change the whole season, especially if you have like a matchup with the whipping child of the league coming up after a big week. So these weeks are getting crucial. But
Crucial.
I just wanted to talk about my guy real quick before we get into everything. That's Le'Veon Bell, man. He's gonna report next week. According to
I don't
himself.
think Le'Veon's playing this year, man. You think he's playing this year?
I mean, at this point, I don't see why he would. I mean, unless his only
Get that
reason
money.
to be was to either get the money that he's gonna be owed, which I think he's forfeited. Like, I don't know how many M's he's forfeited already. Do you even know? Because I guess he was gonna make 14.5. So I think I just looked at the ESPN article. He's officially lost out on 8.5. So he could come back and make $6 million for the remaining 7 weeks. Plus, I guess he would get a playoff game check as well. But
Yeah.
I mean,
But dude, him and James Conner would be scary.
That's what I'm saying. If him and James Conner went out the game with a little injury, he did come back, but I was just like, damn, that might open the door for Le'Veon right there, incidentally. But having both those guys on the team, like, they would literally never lose a step from the backfield. It would be insane.
Oh yeah, they would be able to control the game, start to finish, and literally, just dare the defense to stop it. But
Shit. Especially how they whooped up on the Panthers tonight. So
I just know for those guys that took Le'Veon Bell in the first round, if you somehow salvage your season and are still in the playoff with your first round guy going down, just give yourself a round of applause. Just give yourself a round of applause. Because I was one of those unfortunate individuals that could not return from Le'Veon Bell's absence. Literally, I'm probably having in about 4 leagues I'm actually probably gonna get a bye week, but I have 2 leagues that I'm in that literally I'm at scraping from the bottom of the barrel. I have a snowball's chance. If I win out and a few people take some L's, I might make a playoff push in Ole's league. But besides that, it's a long shot. But all my other leagues are looking good. My big money leagues, good. We'll just take it one step at a time.
yeah, I mean, I just want to say something about Le'Veon because I had him in like my big money league, in 2 of my big money leagues, last year. And so I saw what had happened last offseason, and I was like, okay, he held out till basically like the week before the season. If they franchise tag him again, he's obviously might have the possibility to extend his holdout, which he did. So I got off of him in my Dynasty League, and then I got off him for OBJ in the Primetime League, and I was like, probably the best management job I've done. But before we get into other stuff, too, I want to talk about my guy Dez. Because Dez is an obvious upgrade from anything that the Saints have as far as a secondary receiver, right? And
Yep.
so, personally, I love the move. And I love the fact even more that Dez plays the Cowboys week 13, right?
Yep.
And so I'm not sure what kind of impact Dez is going to have right off the bat, but dude, you're in the high-powered offense of the Saints, and you see what like Traquan Smith has done. You've seen the like games, Cameron Meredith had a couple okay games, but like Dez is gonna take some red zone looks from Ben Watson in the tight ends, and Dez is gonna have an opportunity to make an impact from day one.
Oh,
So
definitely. I
I
mean,
love
the
I
guy.
love the addition.
I mean, we're talking about I'd say one of the best athletes in the league. But I mean, the guy runs hard. You just get the ball to Dez in open space, he can make a big play. Maybe you learned something. Being with the Saints and being with Sean Payton, how to run a simple crossing route, fade, something instead of these fly routes that basically he lived on with Tony Romo. But I'm a Dez fan. I like Dez. I think he's a great player. I think he's gonna have an opportunity to honestly maybe get play himself into a long term deal because he had the long term deal, but he didn't he didn't want a 3 year deal. He wanted a 1 year deal to prove himself. So this might be his chance to prove himself and get that deal that he's searching for. But we'll just I'll have my popcorn ready.
Yeah, man, and just the abysmal state of the Cowboys right now. Dez, I think he's gonna have the last laugh. Um, it's almost like Jerry Jones wants this to happen, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like he wants the Cowboys, win or lose, to be at the center of attention, and he has, he's doing a good job of that. No one's faulting his business acumen, but if I was an owner and I had $1 billion, billion plus, at some point it becomes deeper than making money for me. If I have as much like the Packers, I mean the Cowboys fans are loyal to a fault. They will literally follow Dak and Jerry into the gates of hell just to talk shit and back up their team. That fan base deserves a team like the Chiefs, like the Rams, in that nice state of the art, nicest facility I've ever been in, and we can't get a team to get better than 8-8.
Well, it's because Jerry doesn't really care.
Exactly, he doesn't care about the fans, and that's why I am putting officially for Fantasy Bruddas to know. I told my friends this too. I am officially revoking my Cowboys fandom until further notice. Until our team goes 1 year past 8-8, or let's just go 9-7.
How
I
about
mean, we
just
had
make some moves for the fans? I mean, make some moves that's gonna get people excited about the team. I mean, no one got excited about starting the year off with no receiving core. No one was excited about. I mean, like I would say people were what's the word ignorantly optimistic. Like they knew they were believing something that would more than likely fail, right? So I don't even know if that was an actual word, but I made it up anyways.
That's all right.
But you know, I just feel like a lot of the Cowboys fans are. I have no idea how you continue to support the team. It's almost like Knicks fans, like Knicks fan. I feel like the management for the Knicks, they just, I mean, swing and a miss, swing and a miss, swing and a miss. But at least, shit, the Knicks have tried. They went after Carmelo Anthony. They went after Amari Stoudemire. They went after Phil Jackson. I mean, they were like desperate attempts to get the team to be good again. But of course, that shit wasn't gonna work. You can't.
I mean, to be honest, I think a lot of the problems is coaching related too.
Oh
I
yeah,
think,
Jason Garrett's terrible.
yeah, I mean,
He's
Jason
terrible.
Jason Garrett is horrible. I mean, they like you
Questionable.
said, the beginning of the year, they were literally expecting the fan base to get excited with Cole Beasley as our best receiver. No
Yep,
disrespect to Cole Beasley,
because he's a
but
beast.
Cole
But
Beasley's nice. But dude, Cole Beasley is he's
he's
a
your
number
third or
three
fourth
receiver.
option
He's
at
your third or
best.
fourth option at best. And then we bring in Cooper, who Cooper is a good receiver, and I liked what he did, But for a first round pick, we just the Raiders took
Boing.
advantage of yeah, the Raiders took advantage of our desperation and cashed in on a first round pick, and they don't have to pay Amari Cooper. Like, dude,
I'm not gonna lie. The Raiders. Yeah, I would. Hey, give the Raiders 3 years, man. I mean, unless they just strike and miss with all their draft picks. I mean, don't they have four first round draft picks coming up?
I think they have three next year and then like two the next year. So
Yeah,
they
I
have
mean,
hella picks.
so they're gonna be a good young team. Still don't think they should have got off Khalil Mack, but hindsight,
But to
you
be
know.
honest, this draft is very pass rush friendly.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
they're gonna
Khalil Mack's a
fortify the
once in a
defense.
yeah, Khalil Mack's a once in a like generation type player. Don't get me wrong, but I think they didn't want to pay him because they can get not Khalil Mack production, but they felt like they could replace him with a guy in this draft and build.
Yeah,
But anyway, let's get into some fantasy like rankings.
yeah.
As
Let's do
far
it,
as quarterbacks go, who are you high on this week?
man. I'd probably say I'm high on a few guys. Um, and it's purely based on the matchups. I think the foul or the man who are the Bucks playing this week? They're playing.
Oh, the
Aren't they
Bucks
playing the
play
Falcons?
Washington. No, they play Redskins.
Oh, Redskins. I
Yeah.
like that game. I really think that Fitzpatrick has a chance to put up some numbers. That little bit of momentum that he had, from the second half. I think we could see some Fitz magic. I really do. Um, Another person I think that, or another team that I think has a chance to put up some major points is, I mean, I could always say Mahomes. I mean, he's playing
I
against
mean,
the
Mahomes is
Cardinals.
guaranteed.
Guaranteed, he's putting up at least 3 to 4 touchdowns. I mean, Mahomes is that good. But I was actually looking at because I actually didn't have my rankings up. I need to get my rankings up real quick so I can look at everybody. But okay, that's another one I like. Matty Ice against Cleveland. I know it's gonna be at Cleveland, but I still like Matty Ice. I do. He ever since that stinker he put up at the first game of the season, he's been playing at elite level. His team
Yes.
just the defense has been terrible, and you know they've just been in nonstop shootouts. But Matt is they're not losing because of Matt. They're not. You can't blame it on Matt. And I want to say Steve Sarkisian has finally figured it out. Has
Hey
finally
man,
figured it
I'll
out.
I'll say I think the addition of Ridley has really helped out the team too
Oh yeah.
because dude Ridley is a beast and Sanu's nice too, but Sanu's a better third receiver than second receiver in my opinion.
But dude, Hooper,
And Hooper too. Hooper's been balling too, and
yeah,
this is without Devontae
Freeman,
Freeman.
yeah.
And so they're looking good, man. Watch out for the Falcons. That's a dark horse Super Bowl team to me. They might have too many injuries that happened early in the season with like their
Yeah,
defense and stuff to
Deion
overcome.
Jones is coming back next
But
week.
yeah, Deion Jones is gonna come back. Who else they lost? Keanu Neal too, right?
Yeah, I think he's
So
out though.
I think he's out for the year. But guys that I like this week, I mean, to be honest, I like Andrew Luck a lot. Even though he goes up against the stingy Jacksonville defense, there hasn't been a game this year where Andrew Luck didn't play because they trust Luck's arm like I don't even know, but they trust Luck's arm and he's been getting the job done. Another guy that I like is obviously Philip Rivers this week going up against a crappy Oakland team. The only cap on Philip Rivers is they might get up on Oakland by 30 points and he won't throw the ball anymore. But I can see him having a good day, over 300 yards and 3 touches around there, depending on if Melvin Gordon gets a receiving touch or not. But we'll see. Um, As far as a guy that I don't like, man, I kind of am not super high on Nick Mullins because you know we saw what Jimmy Garoppolo did when when a guy goes out and he kind of has a little bit of rookie.
Aren't you starting Nick Mullins in the league?
Yeah, and I'm gonna replace Nick Mullins.
I was like about to say I could have sworn you picked him up.
Yeah, he had a good game again. So they played last week, the Raiders, right?
Yeah,
And
Teddy
so,
Trey picked up Nick Mullins.
and I'm not believing in the hype, man. Like the Giants are the Giants, but their defense is pretty underrated now, especially because they did just get Olivier Vernon back. I think he's been back like 1 or 2 weeks. So, um, Kerry Wynn and those boys out there, man, I think they're gonna get after Mullins a little bit, and I wouldn't be fooled by his 3 touchdown, 200 whatever yard game with 20 points. I think he's gonna come back down to earth a little bit. I liked him because he was playing on Monday night, and he did have such a good game the game before. But I personally would probably stay away from Mullins if you guys on bye this week.
Yeah.
What
Agreed.
about some
So
RBs though, man?
yeah, I'm gonna make this quick with the RBs. He's a no brainer every week, but after a loss, first loss of the season, he's known for ripping the Seahawks apart. I'm going with Todd Gurley. I mean, he's a clear cut number one, but uh, I think he could go for 30 to 40 points. I'm calling it right now. Um, my second guy that I really like, I they have him actually rated 14. I know he's going to be on somewhat of a snap count, but the guy's fresh, the guy's hungry, and I think he's going to do damage with limited touches, and that's Leonard Fournette. He's playing against Indy defense. They have a decent defense, but I think he's gonna get all the goal line. I think uh, uh, Blake Bortles is actually going to be able to drive the ball down the field and put him in situations for Leonard to make plays. So yeah, that's those are two guys I like. Who I'd probably say I don't like. Oh man, there's so many people to choose from. Um, I personally do not like. I'd probably say I don't. I don't like Joe Mixon against New Orleans.
Come on, I
I
don't know
don't
about
like
that
Joe
one.
Mixon against New Orleans. I just don't. They have a stout run defense. I mean, you're talking about a team that limited Todd Gurley, to under 20 points for the first time all year. I'm just saying, man, I wouldn't. I'm not saying not to start him because obviously he's either your RB1 or high end RB2, but I just don't think he's going to have that good of a game against the Saints.
You're entitled to your opinion. I disagree, but I'm gonna get it off the guy.
Bias.
Yeah, and I do have him in a league, so
Bias as fuck.
I am trying to speak something into existence. I will not. I concede that point, but I also do think that Joe Mixon is just a problem. So regardless of the
Oh,
matchup, he
so
has a
he's
chance to
matchup
get 20
proof.
points. Not matchup proof, but he's been balling. Anyway, the
Okay.
guy that I'm gonna touch on real quick is Kareem Hunt. I mean, when do we start talking about this guy for some real accolades, man? He is balling out of control. It's just on the best offense in the league, reaping the benefits in the pass game and the run game. Just killing shit. I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. Another guy a little bit down the ranks a little bit that I actually like is Aaron Jones. And the Miami defense is pretty nice. They force some turnovers, but I think Aaron Jones is gonna atone for his very costly fumble, which just shifted the tide of the game. And I see him having a pretty good week around close to 16, 17 points, possibly in the 20 range, depending on what kind of opportunities he gets. My last guy that I actually like, but this is contingent on carries and usage, is Kenyon Drake. And I literally want to write Adam
Free
Gase.
free Drake.
Free Kenyon Drake, man. Like I'm holding on to the fact that I think they're just trying to keep him healthy for the latter part of the season, and they're riding Gore, and they're gonna let Kenyon Drake loose just week 12 or so. But I don't know, man. Like Gase must have some personal vendetta against Drake because if you're getting 3 fucking carries and making the most out of every opportunity you got, I mean, he's still like the RB 17 in PPR, and I'm just like, dude, his usage is so down. But anyway, I want to see him get more carries. Guy
Yeah,
that I
definitely.
hate this week, and I hate to say this, is on Johnson. He's been slowing down. I think he's hit a kind of a rookie wall, and he's hit the just the grinder part of his schedule. I think he played at Minnesota.
And
I think
Theoretic's back.
and Theoretic's back. He's playing at Chicago, and then the next game I think they play the Rams or something like. So he's going through the grinder of the schedule in his rookie year, and the offense is not that good. So bench on Johnson if you've been riding the rookie hot streak.
Yep, I agree.
So receivers, man, let's get into this.
All right, receivers. Some receiver. I mean, there's so many great matchups at receiver, but I personally really like my man Odell Beckham Jr. Uh,
Abdi.
I mean, he's playing against San Francisco on a Monday night game, prime time, against a susceptible defense that doesn't really have a corner that can even hold this full jockstrap. I mean, I expect Odell to run amok. The only thing that could
You talking
limit.
down on Richard Sherman real quick?
I mean, dude, Richard Sherman ain't got that speed, bro. He ain't got that speed. I mean, Richard Sherman can try, but he ain't gonna keep up. He ain't gonna keep up. But so I really like Odell. A guy that I think actually has a he's flying underneath the radar. I actually like Alshon Jeffrey playing against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are susceptible through the air. I think that Carson Wentz has a ton of weapons, but I mean his top two go-to guys is Jeffrey and Ertz. I think Alshon Jeffrey has a pretty good game, and I actually he's a strong wide receiver two, extremely. I mean, if you got him at wide receiver three, you're killing it. You're killing it. Um, Guy I don't like. Um, I'll kind of bundle these two up together, but I do not like Allen Robinson coming off injury, and I don't like Corey Davis at or against New England. I I mean I actually saw Corey Davis on waivers when I was looking through waivers today, which was kind of shocking, but I understand he's just not producing. He's kind of a one of those guys that has all the talent, but him and Mariota just haven't figured it out, and he's kind of been limited through with a hamstring injury. But guy's young, he's still learning how to play. But I'd look elsewhere if you could.
Yeah, I mean, guys, I like OBJ. I think he has one of his best games this year. I mean, the guy's been targeted, I think, at least like 9 times every game, making the most of every target, making the most of a shitty year. And he shows up in the big primetime games, so I like to see him get busy. Of course, I like Tyreek Hill, people like that, but I'm going to focus on Josh Gordon. Josh Gordon has been, he's been solid, and he had kind of had his breakout game this past week against the Pack. I mean, he had 5 receptions for 130 yards and a touch, and I think him and Tom Brady are starting to keep getting stronger and stronger every week. And so Tennessee, Malcolm Butler got torched last week. I mean, Cooper was on his head. I mean, and Adoree Jackson, I just don't think anybody can cover Josh Gordon, and so I like that matchup, and I like Josh Gordon to have a pretty solid week. Second guy that I like is Larry Fitz. Ever since Byron Leftwich became the offensive coordinator, guy calling the plays, they've been using Fitz. I mean, I don't get why any like I mean I just be playing Madden sometimes, and I swear I'm a better offensive coordinator than some of these cats that are getting paid millions. I'm like, okay, I have Antonio Brown, I have Fitz, I have Josh Gordon. I probably should get them the fucking ball.
Yeah.
And finally, they get him the ball, and he scores like has 100 yards and a touch. Like, ding, 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 whatever, idiot. All right. And they play the Chiefs, and so of course this game's gonna be high scoring, and so I see Fitz getting his opportunities. A guy that I'm not super high on this week. That's tough, man. There's a lot to kind of choose from. A guy that I'm not super high on. Wow. Hmm. Probably Marvin Jones,
Marvin, why?
just cause the matchup again. I don't like Marvin Jones this week against Chicago. I think that um, I would say Galladay has a bigger game than Jones, but we'll see. That's just kind of like a pick that I'm not too sure on, but I just don't like the matchup. Another guy that I'm not too sure about is, of course, Allen Robinson. I don't like Allen Robinson this year at all. Another guy is probably, dude. What the hell? Did you? Okay, I'm tripping. These ESPN rankings had Antonio Brown number 33, and I was like, what? But another guy that I don't like this week is probably out of the three Los Angeles Rams receivers, probably Brandon Cooks.
Then Cooks.
Yeah, I think Woods and Cooper Kupp just have a bigger game than Cooks, and I don't know who's going to be shadowing Cooks if it's going to be McDougal or whoever, but whoever gets McDougal, they got to watch out. That boy's cold. Kansas boy.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Anyways, let's go on to tight ends.
All right. Let's get on the tight ends. So few tight ends I really like. I mean, of course, you got Kelsey at number 1, Ertz at 2. Those guys are no brainer. I was actually talking to my friend about this today, but I think Evan Ingram. We have an Evan Ingram sighting. I mean, I'm hoping it's actually a shootout because I'm a fan and I want to just see a whole bunch of points being scored. But I like Evan Ingram. The San Francisco 49ers are just, I mean, they can get gouged. They can get gouged. I'm not going to sit here and say that they have a terrible defense because they don't. But they can get gouged. I saw what Aaron Rodgers can do against them. I saw, who else did they just? Granted, they were on Derek Carr's ass, but that's probably because Derek Carr does not have an offensive line. But I like Evan Ingram. Heck of an athlete. Can get open. Can extend the play. I think he has a chance to find the end zone this week. Another guy I really like. I was gonna say Greg Olsen, but of course he just played and didn't play that well. He played okay. I can't say he didn't play well. He played okay. But, man, there's not too many options I just really like. I'll probably just take your Spence and say George Kittle. Because I know you're probably going to...
I was about to say, that was my guy.
Of course I knew it was your guy, because that's your guy on your team.
It's not even just because he's on my team.
He's rated he's the number 3 tight end.
The guy's a problem. When are we going to start talking about him as one of the best this year? He's
top 3. Or I'd say he's top 5.
Yeah, but we keep talking all the time about Kelsey, Ertz, Jimmy Graham, Gronk. Like, put some respect on Kittle's name. It's just because he's not on a winning team, which does have a big factor. I'm not going to lie. But, the guy's on track to have over 1,000 yards from the tight end position. That's pretty special.
It is.
I love Kittle this week. Monday night game again. Just
my dark horse sleeper. I actually got this from my boy Bob, but my dark horse sleeper for this week, Vernon Davis. Vernon Davis. They are very thin at receiver. I think Vernon is honestly. I think Vernon's actually a better route runner than Jordan Reed. I truly think he is. I think I'm not gonna sit here and say he's a better tight end, but I
Arguably,
I think Vernon's one of the best receivers they got, and I think they're gonna use him against a Tampa Bay secondary that's arguably trash. I mean,
yeah.
they're terrible,
The,
terrible.
the guy I like, also who's not a dark horse guy, he's just not been making that much noise because he's been hurt. Is Jack Doyle. Um,
Yeah.
Came back and assumed like it was like clockwork with him and Luck, and you know how much Luck loves a tight end. I was encouraged to see that Eric Ebron still caught a touch last week, so it seems like they can coexist. But Doyle definitely had larger target share and more receptions, and
Well,
so I
didn't
feel like
he went for 670 and a touch, right?
yeah, I think Ebron went for like 337 and a touch or something like that. But
Okay.
so I like him. I like Doyle a lot. Guy that I probably would stay away from.
Granted, they're playing the Raiders.
Granted, they were playing the Raiders. Um, I don't know how to feel about my guy Benjamin Watson this week. Just because I don't know. I feel like possibly he could get as many looks down the seam this week because of the addition of Dez, but maybe he would. But if I had to pick one guy, I probably would sit Benjamin Watson this week.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, let's get into some b-ball.
Yeah.
Let's talk some basketball.
With our fantasy basketball team, we'll just say we're off to a pretty great start. Right now, we're in week 4, and we're sitting. This is a 9 category league, and we actually had the 4th pick. And just to tell y'all who we picked up. Of course, our first pick was LeBron James. I mean, we both love LeBron James. I mean, obviously he's the GOAT, not just of our era, but of all eras. He's the greatest. He really is. Second pick was Drew Holiday, but I mean the guy literally does it all. Has the complete arsenal. Can pass, can defend, can hit the three, can score points and score a lot of points some nights, and shoots fairly good percentages, not only from the free throw line but also from the field. So he kind of struggles. He turns the ball over a little bit, but most point guards that are aggressive, that's what they do. But really like Drew Holiday.
Who we take next? We take
Yeah,
this is a joint. Did you say where this is a joint league, by the way? So me and
yeah.
Stone
This is
have
both.
this league
Yeah.
together.
This is our team. This is the
Yeah,
Fantasy Brothers team. This is a high stakes league. The big money league. So if we win this one, we win a couple racks. So
yeah.
definitely trying to get on that.
We should mention that right now we're in first place.
Yeah,
Nothing special. But
and we're
anyway,
21-6.
who did we take third? Did we take Clay or did we take Horford?
I think it was Clay.
Yeah, I think it was Clay. And Clay just went dumb a few games ago. If you didn't see, 14 threes.
Yeah, he's having a
Crazy
solid
shit.
game tonight.
Yeah. And we took Vucevic, right? Vucevic started out balling. He's came down to earth a little bit, but he still gets stats in every category and is an efficient ass player. I love Vuce.
Oh
But
yeah,
surprise of the year, Wendell Carter Jr., right?
Wendell Carter Jr. The kid can play.
Yeah, I like what they're doing up there in Chicago, man. They're letting them boys play up there. Like Levine's having career year. Wendell Carter, I mean, he just got in the league, but he's showing he's a problem. Do they even have Markkinen? Is Markkinen back yet?
Nope, not yet.
So I like Markkinen too. So we'll see what they got up there in Chicago.
Oh yeah, and I love Steven Adams. We have Rajon Rondo, Joe Ingles. We actually just picked up Dario Cedric
Sarge.
Sarge off waivers. So he's been off to a slow start, but we just also dropped Carmelo Anthony. So I think
Melo just
trash.
dude, I would rather have Ariza.
Yeah, I'd rather have Buddy Hield.
Oh yeah, Buddy Hield is nice. If you were talking shit about Buddy Hield, come correct.
Come
Guy's
correct.
averaging 20.
Yeah, 25-2. I mean,
Shooting
hitting
efficient.
threes at a high rate. Even getting to hustle stats. I mean, getting steals, getting blocks. Doesn't turn the ball over that much. I mean, he's a. I mean, right now he's a top 50 player. So I
Yeah,
mean,
the owner up there in Sacramento was like, I think Buddy Hield could be the Clay Thompson of our team, whatever he said, and I laughed at that. Now I'm like, all right, maybe he's right.
yeah,
Buddy could explode for one of those 40-point nights with 8 threes one game. You never know, but
yeah.
he's nice, man.
He still hasn't hit in the 30s yet, but
It's coming.
it's coming. I mean, he just had a 27-point game, 5 trays made. I mean, that was a huge game. Granted, it is against
It was
the
against the
trash
Atlanta.
Hawks,
Yeah, the
but
Hawks are they
hey, it's
gave up.
still NBA team.
Yeah, who was your surprise rookie of the year though? Who you like? If you had to pick one, who do you think is rookie of the year? I'll say.
Rookie of the year. I mean, it's between Luca and Aiden.
Yeah, I
I
say
mean,
Luca right now.
yeah, I mean, Luca is highly skilled. I mean, he kind of reminds me of, when Ginobili came in the league, but a lot. He's actually more athletic. He's bigger, and I actually think he has a better nose for the game than Ginobili. Um, we're talking about. I mean, how old is this kid? 19.
Yeah, he's
I
a young
mean,
cat.
dude, the sky's the limit. Who knows? He might grow some more. If that happens, I mean, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. But
I agree with that.
Aiden, he's consistently getting a double double, playing, playing decently. I mean, they're on. Don't get me wrong, the Suns are trash as hell, but he's doing his thing and he's trying to, will his team to wins. They just don't have the talent right now. Uh, but I mean, today he had another double double with a block. I don't know. Is he hitting threes this year? Or is he not taking them?
Who Luca?
No, Aiden.
I don't know. I think like one here and there. I'm not
Okay.
sure about his numbers to be honest from the 3 point line.
Yeah, I just saw Booker's numbers. He went dumb tonight.
What do he do?
38, 38, 3, 393.
But took the L.
Yeah, had 4 trays. I mean, who went dumb for the Celtics though? Was it Kyrie? It
Had
was
to be.
Kyrie.
Should have
Kyrie
one
had
forfeit.
30. Dude, Kyrie had 39.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, who's the biggest disappointment from a fantasy perspective this year though?
Basketball wise, I mean, as for me, I would probably have to say for where you draft him, I would probably have to say James Harden.
Yeah, currently.
Yeah, I would say James Harden's been a very big disappointment for a guy that you took in the first round, first pick. Probably I mean, James Harden was the first overall pick for a lot of people. I mean, he's already missed. How many games has he missed? He's missed like 3 or 4 games already.
Yeah.
And I mean, miss having your top guy out your lineup just multiple days in a week can, I mean, doom you. So I mean, look for him to get back on track. But personally, if I would be very pissed if I had James Harden, because I would definitely have probably taken L's 2 weeks already. So, but with NBA basketball, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So 2 weeks, you can recover from pretty quickly.
Oh yeah.
What guy have you been disappointed with?
Dude, to be honest, I'm not. I don't know, man. I like this guy, but there's some games that I'm just like, God damn, that's Ben Simmons. Like, I love Ben Simmons. Like, he gets stats in every category, like points, rebounds, assists, steals. I wish he kind of got a few more blocks, but dude, he had an 11 turnover game one game. Like, Jesus Christ. And then he's a liability from the free throw line. Like he does shoot a high percentage because all he gets is layups. But dude, like, what was Ben working on this summer, man? Like, I don't know. I'm just like I was expecting more of an improvement. He does still he has like three triple doubles already this year. Like he's still playing well, but like what round was Simmons taken in? Like second or
First,
third?
Ben Simmons,
Yeah, was he in the first round?
of course. He was like the
Was
no.
Ben in the first round?
Are you kidding, Spence? Ben
I guess in
Simmons.
12 team leagues, yeah. I'm just
Oh,
thinking like,
first round. I thought you were talking about of the drafts. Ben
oh no,
Simmons
Ben
was
Simmons was number one.
Ben Simmons was a second round pick in the draft.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Like in fantasy drafts, he's like a second
Yeah,
round pick.
second round pick.
So like, I think he's
High
ranked like,
second round pick.
yeah, like like right on the turnaround.
Because
So
Embiid was like the
10th
tenth
or
or
yeah.
11th.
So
But
yeah, of
man,
course Ben Simmons first
Embiid is
round.
playing at MVP level. I mean, Jesus,
That's what I'm saying. Ben Simmons is playing really well, but I'm just like, I don't know. I kind of wish I saw more of a
complete
not even
player.
yeah, like not even from just a fantasy perspective, like just from an NBA perspective too. Like I kind
Who's
of wish he had even a little bit of a jump shot. Like Jesus Christ, what
so?
you
What
about
would
to
you
say?
say to this? Who? What do you think? Who's the most underrated player,
In the league
or
or
should
in
I say
fantasy?
surprise player?
Oh, without a doubt, Zach Levine.
Oh yeah,
Like,
Zach
dude,
Levine.
Levine is he's averaging 27, and I mean they're letting him loose, and he's getting every stat. Like he's averaging 27, 5 and 4 with like a steal a game. He turns the ball over at a high clip too, but that he's a young cat. I like him being aggressive, but dude, he's averaging 27. I was expecting Levine to be around 16, 17 like he was, and if you drafted him, you're reaping the benefits. So that's my like definite surprise player.
Yeah, I I I wouldn't say this guy's a surprise player, but I would say this guy is definitely underrated,
Oh,
and that's Kemba Walker.
oh, dude, Kimba's a cold blooded motherfucker, man.
Dude, a killer,
For real.
killer. I mean, the guy's averaging 28 points, 6 assists. I mean, he gets stats in every category, despite being 6 feet tall. I mean, the guy gets blocks.
The
I mean,
number of threes, man, too. He's good for
oh,
three a
dude,
game.
he. I mean, I want to say he averages like three threes a game.
Yeah,
Might be closer to four. Who knows? I mean, he's had multiple 7-3 game. I mean, like it's crazy. The stats are just unreal. You can even throw Jamal Murray into the conversation too. I mean, he's been having a great year too, but he did have a few stinker games, but he's definitely got his foot on the gas these last few weeks.
for
And it
sure.
wouldn't be a show if we didn't talk about LeBron James at least once. I mean, LeBron is just he's settling in, and I think the best is yet to come. I mean, he's averaging basically 27, 8 and 8, and coasting. LeBron's not even LeBron's coasting right now. He really is. He really is. I think once he gets in the midseason form, we're gonna. I mean, he's gonna have months where he averages over 30 with a triple double. Because I think the Lakers are good. I think once they get it going, they got a. I think the signing of Tyson Chandler is huge,
I do
because
too.
you don't have to have LeBron or Kuzma play backup center. I mean, they literally didn't have a backup center after McGee, and they shown that McGee is the truth. Didn't I tell you, Spence? I was saying this before the season started. McGee just wasn't being utilized right, and a with Rondo and with LeBron, he just needs to be around the basket and throwing that up to him, and it's easy
Oh yeah.
buckets.
Oh yeah.
But
For sure.
just to wrap up my part on the NBA, who do you think is the best team in the league right now besides the Warriors?
Best team in the league besides the Warriors. Wow. Mm,
Man, you really got to think about this one, huh?
Dude, I'm between two teams right now.
Bro, it's the Raptors.
I was gonna say the Raptors, but I still like the Celtics a lot. I
Bro,
still do.
bro,
But the
they don't have a
Raptors are
chance.
undeniable.
Yeah, they don't have a chance
And
against. They don't have a chance against Kawhi.
I mean, that's what I think. I mean, I was just like, it's the Raptors. I want to give the Celtics love so bad because they're starting to get going a little bit. But dude, the Raptors look ridiculous. Like Kawhi, they did like DeRozan was a great player, but dude, Kawhi. I was talking about this with some other guy. Kawhi is just better than DeRozan in every aspect of basketball,
Yeah,
and is just levels, stratus, whatever, better than him on the defensive end.
yeah,
So it's like they literally got a top three player to replace DeRozan with and have the same team. And then Siakam is underrated, bro.
dude,
Siakam is
Siakam
nice.
is nice.
And
I was
so
man, Siakam. I'm so impressed with him. He's
and
the truth.
yeah, LeBron's happy he got out the East because man, like the Raptors got like four guys that could cover him. Like Siakam could guard him, Leonard could guard him, Danny Green could guard him.
Oh,
So
but dude, I can't lie. LeBron was giving all those guys work.
I mean
Besides,
he's LeBron, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying. But um also a team that's nice is the Bucks. It's time to put some respect on the Bucks name.
yeah, with the Bucks.
Giannis is the truth, but I mean I just don't think they're better than the Raptors. I don't think any team I do think the Raptors are the best team besides the Warriors.
Yeah.
So
I actually
no
think
question.
the Raptors have a chance to beat the Warriors. I truly do.
They could.
I
I mean,
think
dude, you saw what
Kawhi is the Golden State Warriors kryptonite.
you saw what he was doing to them before Zaza did that foul shit. So I mean, Kawhi's the truth, man. We'll see.
Yep.
But
Can't
yeah.
wait.
Anyways, time to wrap it up, guys. We appreciate you guys listening. Sorry for the hiatus we were on. We're just busy doing a lot of other things, but stay tuned for the next week's episode. We're gonna talk more about fantasy football and basketball.
Yeah. Appreciate it, guys. See you next week. Good luck.